BTS appeared united before the public once again, but not in an atmosphere that felt entirely warm or spontaneous, rather under the sharp spotlight of HYBE'S direction, raising a major question. Was this unity purely the members' own will, or a carefully engineered strategic construction? The Weverse Live moment that featured BTS together immediately shook the global ARMY community. Within minutes, the broadcast was flooded with speculation, body language analyses, and emotional debates. On the surface, BTS looked cohesive, smiling, and engaging in interactions long familiar to fans. Yet for more attentive observers, small details felt off, particularly Jin, who appeared noticeably stiff, awkward, and less relaxed than usual. This phenomenon cannot be separated from the broader context surrounding BTS today. HYBE as a corporate entity holding full control over management, communication strategies, and the group's public image. Every BTS appearance is no longer merely an entertainment event, but an institutional statement. This Weverse Live was thus seen not only as a fan interaction, but as a strong signal that BTS remains under a single, coordinated command. Attention quickly centered on Jin. Throughout the broadcast, he spoke less, gave shorter responses, and displayed cautious body language. The explosive humor that typically defines Jin's presence was largely absent. While other members conversed fluidly, Jin seemed to carefully weigh every word. For ARMY, this shift was too significant to ignore. The question then expanded. Does Jin's awkwardness reflect personal fatigue, psychological pressure, or the impact of increasingly strict communication boundaries? In South Korea's highly structured entertainment industry, it is not unusual for artists to be instructed to regulate their attitudes, expressions, and even narratives in public spaces. BTS, given their global influence, undoubtedly operates under far more intense scrutiny. The collective appearance of BTS during the broadcast also sparked another discourse: the meaning of being united. Does unity mean simply appearing together on the same screen, or sharing equal freedom of expression? Amid major transitions, military service, solo projects, and evolving internal dynamics, BTS's unity now appears more structured, even curated. However, it would be unfair to interpret this moment solely as corporate manipulation. There are signs that BTS continues to strive to maintain an emotional connection with fans, even within certain limitations. Eye contact, pauses in speech, and subtle interactions between members still carried a warmth that is difficult to fabricate. It is precisely here that the complexity lies, between personal sincerity and professional obligation colliding. As a global corporation, HYBE undoubtedly has an interest in maintaining the stability of BTS's narrative. Amid rumors, speculation, and market pressure, presenting BTS as a solid unit is a strategic move. Yet this strategy simultaneously places the members, including Jin, in a constrained position. Every movement becomes symbolic, every expression open to interpretation. ARMY's reactions were divided. Some viewed Jin's awkwardness as a human reflection of the immense pressure he faces, while others questioned the transparency of management. This discussion grew beyond a single live broadcast, touching on broader issues of power dynamics between artists and the industry, between personal expression and corporate interests. Ultimately, this Weverse Live did more than simply place BTS on screen. It opened a wider space for reflection. What are we truly witnessing? BTS as they are, or BTS as they are required to be presented? Is Jin's awkwardness a hidden signal, or merely a moment amplified by public expectation? What is certain is that BTS's unity this time was far from simple. Behind the smiles and warm greetings lies a complex layer of control, responsibility, and the price that must be paid to remain at the pinnacle of the global industry. And perhaps that is where the real story unfolds, not in what is said, but in what remains unsaid. Here is the complete English translation of the extended discussion, preserving the analytical, provocative, and reflective journalistic tone. If we pause for a moment and re-examine BTS's collective appearance during the Weverse Live, the most fundamental question does not lie in what was visible, but in what may have been deliberately concealed. Was this unity truly born from the members' sincere intentions, or was it the result of a carefully orchestrated effort designed to maintain image stability amid the increasingly ruthless pressure of the global entertainment industry? In today's digital era, every small gesture can be transformed into a major narrative. A hesitant glance from Jin, a slightly prolonged pause in speech, or a smile that appears forced can instantly be processed into evidence by social media algorithms. TikTok condenses moments into emotional fragments, Twitter accelerates speculation, and YouTube extends assumptions through sensational headlines. But the real question remains, to what extent do these public interpretations genuinely stem from facts, and not from the public's appetite for sensation? We must ask ourselves honestly, do our emotional reactions as viewers cause us to lose critical distance? When we see Jin appearing awkward, do we truly understand the context behind the scenes, or are we simply filling informational gaps with the most dramatic assumptions available? In the modern entertainment landscape, ignorance often speaks louder than truth. The narrative of BTS united under HYBE'S orders itself deserves calm and rational scrutiny. Does this phrase reflect the structural reality of the K-pop industry, or is it intentionally framed to provoke emotion and clicks? On one hand, it is undeniable that HYBE exercises managerial control. On the other hand, reducing the complex dynamics between artists and corporations to mere orders may be an oversimplification that distorts reality. Furthermore, we must question the role of media outlets and content creators in shaping collective perception. When a narrative is repeatedly amplified, viralized, and reinforced through selectively chosen visuals, are we still consuming news, or are we absorbing a constructed mass opinion? Are we engaging with facts, or merely echoes of assumptions reinforcing one another? It is crucial to recognize that the information circulating at present originates from various secondary sources, ranging from TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter to other digital media platforms. These sources are not inherently false, but neither are they automatically reliable. Without cross-verification, official statements, or full contextual framing, every claim should be treated as a hypothesis rather than a definitive conclusion. This leads us to the core question. Do we truly believe this event occurred exactly as it is being portrayed, or is it merely a narrative engineered to sustain media attention? Is Jin's awkwardness a personal signal, or simply a human moment exaggerated by camera lenses and fan expectations? More importantly, why are we so quick to believe one version of the story instead of waiting for clarity? Skepticism does not mean cynicism, and critical thinking does not imply indifference. On the contrary, both represent a mature form of engagement with the information we consume. In a world saturated with sensational headlines and emotionally charged narratives, the ability to pause, question, and reflect has become increasingly rare, yet profoundly necessary. We invite viewers not merely to react, but to reflect. Not only to share, but to evaluate. Not to immediately believe, but to ask, who benefits from this narrative? What remains unsaid? And which elements may have been deliberately amplified? Ultimately, this event may be a convergence of many factors: industry pressure, personal circumstances, communication strategies, and public interpretation colliding simultaneously. Yet one thing remains certain: truth rarely resides on the loudest surface. It demands patience, clarity, and the courage to doubt what appears too perfectly arranged. Therefore, before drawing conclusions, let us ask ourselves, are we seeking truth, or merely the most emotionally stimulating story? In the overwhelming flow of information, choosing to think critically may be the most radical stance we can take today.